Hello, everybody. Just quickly, I wanted to give you guys a sneak peek of one of the group classes that I teach at Take Lessons Live that is called Spanish Verb Conjugations for Beginners. So if you guys are new to the Spanish language, please leave your questions in the comment sections or in the group chat below. I may or may not get to all of them, but I will go over the questions that you guys may have and leave them as a comment for you guys. So it's making so you guys know that, don't worry, I will answer your questions soon. Okay, so Take Lessons Live is an outlet where you guys can take out up to 200 plus different types of lessons, whether it be Spanish, ASL, French. Also, you can take music lessons, and I will leave in the link below so you guys can register for your first class for free. And the difference between watching this in the video and taking my group class at Take Lessons Live is that you will get lesson notes and materials. All right. Here we go. Oh, wait. Oh. Hello, everybody. Hola, Nathan. Hola, Ana. Welcome.
Hola.
¿Y cómo están? How are you guys today?
Good.
That is fabulous. All right. Yeah? Oh, and Anna, I see that this is your very first Take Lessons class. Thank you for choosing me. You get 2 extra points for that. All right. So what I like to do is I always like to get to know my students before I start teaching you which levels you guys are, so I can better create, so I can adapt to all the levels that we have here and want to know what your motivations are. All right, so I'm going to start off with Nathan. Is it all right if I can spotlight you?
Huh?
Is it all right if I can spotlight you, like have people see you?
All right.
Yeah? Okay. So, Nathan, where are you joining us from?
Southern California.
Oh, cool. If you don't mind me asking, whereabouts?
San Bernardino area.
Oh, okay.
County. But
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Hi, neighbor.
So my motivations are just a lot of my family speaks Spanish. So I want to be able to communicate better with them.
Okay. And
I
are
know
you
very a minimal Spanish.
Okay. And are you taking Spanish lessons privately or at school?
No.
No?
Not currently.
Okay.
I plan to eventually.
Very cool. All right. Let's go with Anna. I'm just going to spot. Is it all right if I can spotlight you?
No video. I didn't really comb my hair.
That's so good. You have your camera off, so you just have the microphone. So this will allow everyone to hear you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. So go ahead. Where are you joining us from, Anna?
I'm actually in San Bernardino also. And yeah, over in maybe Nathan knows, but like Grand Terrace area. That's where I'm at. But my motivation is I wanted to take immersion classes in Ecuador. But before I get there, I want to make sure I can at least get myself around and at least have a good basis before I go.
Okay. First of all, congratulations on that choice. It will definitely help to force you to speak and also quickly respond. So it can be intimidating at first because we're always afraid of making, creating mistakes and all that. But I applaud you. That takes courage.
Thanks. I figured I'd go down there for 3 months, and if I can't talk my way out by that time, then I'm just a lost cause.
No, okay. There is no such thing as a lost cause. And I don't mean to sound like a little preacher here or anything. This is just like through experience. Everyone learns things differently. Either it's through immersion, a complete immersion. It can also be like through different like teachers, like private lessons. Everyone has their own way of understanding new things, not just languages, but new skills. So you're never, ever, ever a lost cause.
Thank you, because I took it in high school and college, and it just never stuck. So
Actually,
I never got Spanish too.
Oh, all right. Well, you know what? I have faith in you. You can do it. You can do it. And actually, that brings me a little bit to Spanish verb conjugations as first, because the title, every time when people look at verb conjugations, they get a little bit intimidated. And for those that do not know what conjugation is basically we are changing the verb according to whom we are talking to or about. And they conjugate depending, they conjugate in the present tense, they conjugate in the preterite, meaning aka a fancy word meaning past tense, and also the future. But I'm going to give you guys 2 tips that is going to help you when it comes to conjugating verbs, regardless of the tense that we are studying. And also the theme for today, and this might scare you guys, so please do not leave, are the irregular verbs, the Spanish irregular verbs, which means they don't necessarily follow rules that I'm about to give you.
Awesome.
So before we get to any form of the irregular verbs, I provided you a little lesson note thing. So if you can check out your group chat, please. And you'll see a file that says untitled document. I meant to put a title in it. And I'm going to go ahead and do a screen share so you can see what I'm writing here. And also for this class, I really recommend to have some like a pencil and a paper or something that you're able to type and see me at the same time. Okay, so let's talk about just quickly regular verbs when conjugating in the present tense. This is where tip number 1 is definitely going to be handy. So there are 3 types of verbs. We have ER. I'm going to make this bigger so you guys can see. And caps lock it. AR, ER, and IR verbs. Now, who knows what a verb is? English 101. Can anyone tell me what a verb is?
It's an action.
It's just an action.
It's an action, yes. A verb is a word that's used to express an action, a process, or to describe a state or existence. And it's going to affect people and things. Now, in Spanish, if you guys take a Spanish class, we're going to use big fancy words as, let's check out this infinitive. It's a fancy way of saying dictionary form of the verb. So let me go ahead and write that down for you guys. Infinitive equals dictionary form of the verb. Now, as I mentioned, there are 3 types. So whenever you see a verb that ends with either of these 3 endings, that means it's in its infinitive form. Por ejemplo, the thing that I do a lot, hablar. Anyone know what hablar means?
To speak.
To speak, yes. So here, I know that it's in its dictionary form, its infinitive form, because we have, I will go ahead and highlight this. Let's do a light blue here. That's not so light. AR. So not only does it tell me it's in its infinitive form, but also tells me what type of infinitive form it is. Any questions so far?
No, not for me.
No? Okay. Now, the moment that you guys have been waiting for. This rule is going to apply for not only the present, not only for the past, not only for the future. It's for everything. The verbs have 2 parts, a stem and an ending. That ending being in AR, ER, and IR. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to drop the ending and replace it with its corresponding endings. And the way that we conjugate, it depends on whom we are talking to or about. So if we check here, and I'm going to make this bigger for you guys. Can you guys see this better?
Yeah.
All right, beautiful. So here, if we check out a verb, caminar, which means to walk. I drop the AR, adios, and then I will add the ending that corresponds to yo. So if I wanted to say I walk, sería yo camino. What a lot of beginning students do is they will change the ending for the I form because they think that, okay, since I'm a female, I've got to go yo camina. No. Caminar is part of the verb, right? It's a verb. So we're talking about what you're doing. So this doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl until we get to the nosotros and vosotros form. Then it does matter. And the ellos form. That does matter. But for the first, second, and third person singular, it doesn't matter. So, yo camino, I walk. For the tú form, tú being the informal you. So Nathan, you said that you are learning Spanish so you can better communicate with your family, right?
Yes.
Okay, so in Spanish, we do have an honor system. We have tú versus usted, both meaning you. Tú being the informal you and usted being the formal you. So you never want to address your aunt, por ejemplo, su tía, informally. Porque sí, ella va a regañar. She will go the full Latina tía. I'm allowed to say that because I have one. Several. Yeah. So here, we're not going to use tú with our elders. No, if this is for work, we're not going to use tú with our bosses, even though we are guilty of doing so.
Yeah.
So tu is used for your friends. So here, as I said, tú caminas. We drop the AR and then replace it with the AS ending.
Yeah, because with yo, you change it to an O and to an AS or ES. But I'm not. But what about usted?
Ah, great question. Here we go for this. Yeah. Now, you guys ready for the second tip? That's going to help you to conjugate anything. The third person singular and the third person plural are all going to have the same ending. Yes! One less thing to remember when learning a new language. So when we're talking about usted, meaning you formally, él being he, and ella being she, we're going to drop the ending of the word. In this case, we're working on an AR verb, caminar. And we're going to add a. So, usted camina. You walk. Or hablar. Usted habla. Just do not add mucho at the end. Which means, usted habla mucho. You talk a lot. Don't say that. But equivalently, I can say he talks or he speaks. Él habla. Or he walks. Él camina. She walks. Ella camina. And she speaks. Ella habla. But let's look at this quickly, though. Let's look at the usted, él, and ella. So we have conjugations as well in English. Just it's not that drastic. We just add an S to the verb. Sometimes we're not going to be talking about a living thing. We're going to be talking about a non-animate object, like a pencil. So here, we're going to use the it. So if you're talking about a non-animate object, you're going to follow using usted, él, and ella. So you're going to use, for an example, if I wanted to say, not here, and black. Okay. The pencil doesn't write. El lápiz. Look at my Spanish. No escriba. Here I'm going to use the él, ella, and usted form of the verb. Escribe. Escribe. Not escriba, because it's an IR verb.
Question?
Yes.
So, when talking about an inanimate object, how do you know whether to use L or ella?
Ah, fantastic question. So I have a whole video on this on my YouTube channel. The general, and I'm really going to emphasize this word, general rule is that you can tell if a noun is masculine or feminine by the ending, if it ends with an O or an A. But that's not always the case. That's just that's about maybe 65% of the Spanish words. With that said, of course, we have other endings like sion and itis. Elogia. So I really recommend to check out my channel, which I'll leave in the link later on in the class.
Okay.
Now for the nosotros form. We walk. Nosotros caminamos. Nosotros can be for we as in a mixture of gender. I can't speak English. With its male and female, or nosotros meaning we as an all male, like an all guy, like a guys out. But if it's all female and no guys are allowed, sería nosotras. But the verb, the conjugated verb, is not going to change. So, nosotros caminamos. Or nosotras caminamos.
It's a question.
Yes, Nathan.
What do you say about gender? Sorry.
It's okay. For the second, third, plural. So for nosotros can represent we as a mixture of gender, so guys and girls. But it can also present we as in all males. But we also have a word for we as in all females, nosotras.
Okay. All right, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you.
Of course. Now, the same thing applies to the vosotros. Now, vosotros means you guys informally. Typically, you're going to find this, you're going to find that we're going to be using this in Spain, for Spain Spanish, Castilian Spanish. We do not use this in Central America. So, vosotros means that you guys informally in Spain. Here, to say, you guys walk. Tú camináis. Vosotros habláis. Now, same thing as nosotros. Vosotros means you guys can be una combinación entre mujer o hombre. Or just males. But if I want to say you guys as in all girls, sería vosotras. Now for the third person plural. Ustedes, ellos, and ellas. Ellos and ellas are a form of they. Going on to this pattern of gender, ellos being they can be a combination of guys and girls, or it can be they as in all guys. Ellas means they as in all girls. And then ustedes, if we're learning Castilian Spanish, ustedes will mean you guys, but formally. But in Central American Spanish, y este incluye México, Guatemala, El Salvador, we use ustedes for both formal and informal situations. Including Ecuador. Now, here is the final tip. Remember how I said a third person singular are all going to have the same endings regardless of the tense we're speaking in? The same thing applies here. Ellos, ellas, and ustedes are all going to have these same endings of the verb. Yay! So, if you remember those little tips, they will help you so much, especially like if you're taking this class like for school. I cannot emphasize. I wish I knew this tip. I mean, my mom is de Guatemala. I grew up speaking natively with my mom, but once I got thinking it was going to be, this is going to be an easy A. I know the language. I was so wrong. Actually, that's me up even more. But I grew up, that was actually my motivation to learn more languages, to be honest. Because I also speak Japanese natively too. Then learn that language, I was like, oh, okay. Now I understand what's going on here. Okay. Now that we understand the regular rules, let's go into the topic of today. The irregular verbs. Why? Why do we need to go on and complicate things? So, why does it exist? Well, just as in English, irregular verbs have evolved as a result of spoken usage and an ease of pronunciation. For an example, let's check out the verb. Did I put it here, right? I did not. Let's check out the verb tener. I meant to put this one here too, because this is a huge one. Tener, which means to have. If I wanted to say I have, what sounds easier? Teno or tengo? What's something that it sounds easier to remember? Tengo, right? It sounds cleaner and clearer as opposed to teno. So the irregularity of the verbs can occur in two areas. One, in the yo form, which in this case, these verbs that you see here, caber, caer, dar. Don't fall asleep on me. Estar, hacer. These are irregulars because we have to change the yo form. But the rest of it is going to follow the rules. And we're going to conjugate it in a moment. We're going to try conjugating one. The second way that you'll find an irregular verb are those stem changes. The stem, where the stems of the verbs changes in the tú, usted, and the ustedes forms. Yeah. But don't worry. Don't worry. It's actually not as horrible or intimidating as I'm portraying it to be. I just got to make sure you guys are awake somehow. Now, any questions before I continue on? Anna, you're okay?
Yeah, I'll go over my notes again and look at your. I'm still a little, but I'm taking good notes.
All right, Anna, just tell me which part were you a little bit confused on? Because maybe what your concerns are, it could be also Nathan's as well. So I actually want you to comprehend in this class. It's not about if I'm able to teach my whole thing. I want to actually genuinely want you to learn.
Oh, yeah. It's just,
Is it the conjugating for regular verbs?
Yeah, that part. Now I've got notes that, first person singular, third person plural, it's the same. And then general rule, you have the male and the female. I guess it's just knowing
when to conjugate them.
Yeah, well, no, like the IR. Yeah, I don't know. I got to think about it.
No.
I don't know.
All right. So luckily, with the ER and IR verbs, they have the same endings.
Oh, okay.
With the exception of the second person plural for the nosotros and the vosotros form. That's really the only times that they're going to change. Por ejemplo, if we checked out the verb comer, right? This means to eat. The yo form sería yo como, just like the AR verb. It's going to end with an O.
Okay.
Now, with that, we talked about the AR verbs. So for the tú, it ends with an AS. You just switch it to an ES. So tú comes. See that right here? Here's the difference. So for the AR verb, you have AS. And then for the ER verb, you have, ES. And also for the IR verb, escribir, ES.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, better?
Yeah, a little bit better.
Okay. And the same thing also applies to el, ella, and usted. So AR verbs, we're going to end it with an A. But for ER and IR verbs, we're going to end it with an E.
Okay.
So él come. He eats. How would I say she eats in Spanish? Take a guess. How do I say she?
Ella?
Ella.
Would I change that to an A? Coma?
No, because comer is an ER verb. So we got ella, she, and then eats.
So would it be como?
Como will be the I, the yo form.
Oh, then it would just be that comes.
It come. Come.
Okay.
Yes. So these endings that are after the dash, those are the endings of the verbs for each section.
I see. Okay.
How would I write? How would I say he writes?
El escribe?
Ding, 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 ding. That is correct. All right. Actually, let's try it with Nathan. How would I say they, like a mixture, boys and girls, eat? They eat.
Ellos comen.
Exactamente, yes. Ellos comen. Does that help, guys? Was that better?
Yeah, it made it a little more clear for me.
Okay. Yay! All right. Now going back. Now these verbs, these irregular verbs that I have for you guys, and don't worry, you guys are going to hate me after this because you guys do have a homework assignment. And it's not to give you cruel and unusual punishment. I actually want you guys to practice. But what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to give you some practice for regular verbs and then some for irregular verbs. All right. Okay. So let's look at caber. Caber means to fit. Now, the yo form is going to be different. So we have yo quepo. If I go along with a tu form, I'm just going to treat it like a regular ER verb. Tú cabes. Él, ella, usted cabe. Or it. And so forth. The only thing that are irregular is about the yo forms for these types of irregular verbs. So, if we scroll down, and let's make this higher. I put 5 questions. Now, these 5, these are like definitions like I give, they put, like you guys see, we fit in, I bring. They're all here. The words. What I would like for you to do is to conjugate them accordingly. Now again, if one of the questions has yo, that's going to be an irregular conjugation. But for the tú and for the nosotros and for the ellos, you are going to follow the regular rules. So,
okay.
For an example, taking caber, we have yo quepo. Nathan, how would I say he fits? And this
he fits.
Yes, he fits. So to
el cabe.
él cabe. Yes, perfecto. Any questions on your homework assignment, guys?
No, not for me.
No? All right, so let me not sing. I'm not teaching you guys math. Although, fun little fact is that learning another language does in fact help you with math.
How's that?
You're able to recognize patterns easier.
Oh, yeah.
And you're also you'll be able to compute faster as well.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm not going to give you that. Let's check. So I'm looking for my regular conjugations here. Sorry, I just switched like all of my stuff. Like, here we go. Okay. Found them. So some of these you're probably not going to know the what it says. All I care about is you conjugating the verb. Okay? Now, if you would like to find out what it means, then by all means, go for it. I'm actually going to go ahead and copy and paste it to the group chat. There you go.
Oh.
So in the parentheses, you have the conjugations. Now, to make your life easier, just copy and paste this onto, this brings me to your challenge. And it's just 10 things I'm asking you to do.
Wait, what?
10 things. Well, 5 things are challenges, 5 things I want you to actually send to me. So by going to my Take Lessons profile.
Well, I'm on a mobile device.
Oh, okay. What you can do is you can still copy and paste it on your smartphone or tablet, and then you can put it onto like an email.
Yeah, but I can't really do that without exiting out of the app.
Oh, okay. So that brings me to another fun point. Well, let me just finish the instructions here, and then I'll help you out here. So I would like for you to copy and paste this and the also the 5 questions for the irregular verbs. And then copy and paste everything. Go to my profile and click the button that says Ask Rosita a question. That's how you guys are going to send me your answers. Okay. Your due date, I'm not going to say tomorrow. What kind of person would I be? I will say Friday. Now, please do not do this all at once. The best way to learn, or the best way to do homework in general, when a teacher gives you like about 5 days to do it, you probably want to listen up to this, Nathan. Do 2 to 3 problems a day. This is a great studying technique. It helps you remember, and it keeps you consistent, so you're constantly practicing each day. Hello, Nathan's mom.
She can't hear.
Yeah.
I have headphones.
So that's right. So that's a great study tip. Don't do it all at once. Do 2 to 3 a day. Because the more practice that you do it, it's going to stick. And that includes speaking it as well. Now, Nathan brought up a point that he's on a mobile device. I don't know what how you're taking this lesson, Anna, whether it's tablet, smartphone, or computer. You guys have access to the group chat after this. And how to get there? Really easy. You go to your Take Lessons dashboard. You're going to click Journal. Then click Group Chat. Well, in the journal, you're going to see like a list of the lessons that you guys have signed up for. So if this is not your only Spanish class, you're going to see it by name. And this includes ones that you've missed. So if your teacher from that lesson uploaded files or wrote stuff on the group chat, you guys are able to have access to it to check it out.
Okay.
To use as reference. And you can access through all those things that I mentioned before. Now, as I mentioned, I do have a YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Help me reach the 1,000 subscriber mark. Now, I do have a couple series called Beginning Spanish Sentence Structures. So this goes a little bit for the grammar part, but it gets you speaking immediately, which, Anna, I think this will actually benefit you specifically since I know you're planning to immerse yourself in Ecuador. So basically, I give you a sentence structure, like a sentence formula.
Okay.
And then I'll give you like some nouns. And then you start forming them. So you say, oh, I like this. Oh, I don't like this. And you'll also learn like verb conjugations as well. Giving directions, how to make plans, like stuff to help you build, how to build a conversation.
Okay.
Also, I have beginning Spanish for medical professionals. So if you're a nurse or a doctor or work in the medical field, I have that as a reference. Also, it's good for those that just to know at least a little bit so you know what say it hurts here, like how to say that. Like I have a whole video dedicated for symptoms. You can also check that out. I think that will also be beneficial for you. I have beginning Spanish for law professionals. And also, I teach Japanese and singing and speaking.
Wow.
I'm your one-stop shop. So you guys can learn all of those things through my channel. You can use it as one of the many references that I will give you and other teachers will give you as well. Now, did you guys have any questions for me?
Not right now. I don't.
No? Nathan?
I think I'm good.
Yeah? If you have any questions, like later on while you're doing homework, do not hesitate to ask me. I want you guys to succeed. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Until next time. Nos vemos. Ciao. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, my wonderful YouTubers, and viewers and subscribers and all of you guys. So if you have any questions, I'm going to actually leave it here in the group chat, link to my profile. So if you guys have any questions on Spanish, like conjugations and stuff like that, I'll be more than happy to respond to you. All right. And so I left the link here for you guys to check out. Also gives you like a background of my my teaching background, my availability, information about me, and all that stuff. So hopefully I'll get a chance to talk to you soon. All right. You guys, nos vemos. Ciao.